We need to devise a plan to intercede, ready to go at a moment's notice.
The most deadly weapon yet devised by man.
Confound and put to shame those who have devised evil against us.
Instead, he devised a way to keep you forever hidden.
Could possibly have devised.
Used by the most terrible weapon ever devised.
An experimental procedure of my own devising.
Instrument torture ever devised.
I devised the method of selling shares.
You helped me devise it.
Devised a higher system of mathematics than the Romans.
Devise and bequeath to my beloved daughter Charlotte Vale.
Second, we need to figure out what can we do to help them. We need to devise a plan to intercede, ready to go at a moment's notice. And third, somebody's got to go out there and make
Secret Lafayette XV-27, the most deadly weapon yet devised by man. Such a prize would inevitably tempt the most...
The spear and shield and arise to help us. Confound and put to shame those who have devised evil against us. May they be before the faces of thy faith.
Rested on the sanctity of royal blood. So instead, he devised a way to keep you forever hidden.
There was a single concept that the terrorists could possibly have devised to endanger the life of President de Gaulle.
Has surrendered. Brought to its knees by the most terrible weapon ever devised, the atomic bomb.
Just in time.
For what?
To assist me in an experimental procedure of my own devising, which, when perfected, I expect to usher in a new era.
Leave me, Dumber. Woman is the most fiendish instrument of torture ever devised to bedevil the days of man.
5 years of banking experience are for nothing. I devised the method of selling shares to stockholders to pay for the search for their beloved grand.
You know, the really touching thing about this plan is you helped me devise it.
Your time in prison has twisted your mind into a delusionary state, Luther.
Worthy of ancient Egypt, they charted the heavens, devised a higher system of mathematics than the Romans, and created a calendar as accurate as the one we use today.
The remainder of my estate, real, personal, or mixed, I give, devise, and bequeath to my beloved daughter Charlotte Vale.
I did it. I did.
I spent the summer devising a whole new Quidditch program. We're going to train earlier, harder, and locked.
As time passed, the English devised the allowance system, the first unemployment relief. Only now it was paid with it.
The Baron devised the process.
Using the bodies.
We're now on that runaway freight train in rural Pennsylvania. They've devised an ambitious plan to bring it to a stop. A single locomotive moves in from behind.
Other to come.
To devise a plan, sire. But it will
Come in, Kronstein. Sit down, number 3, while we listen to what number 5 has devised for us.
I hope Kronstein's efforts as director of planning will continue.
And be able to live outside loops.
He devised an experiment.
Detectable via traditional means. I have devised a way to collect and store limited quantities of it.
You can... Depends on the detonators. Gotta devise something.
Is it true that in the year 1950, you devised the murder of the heads of the so-called 5 families in New York to assume and consolidate your nefarious
Antics to amuse the people. At night, he told them their fortunes in a tongue of his own devising, and I translated it. And all concerned...
TV set. She's very carefully devised a number of scenarios for all of us to play, like movie of the week.
The Reverend Solomon Stoddard devised the so-called halfway covenant, whereby members of the community could be half members of the...
Seem very provincial to a gentleman with such elevated airs, but I do not devise these rules. I am merely obliged to obey them.
I have been to...
Then doth it well appear this Salic law was not devised for the realm of France, nor did the French possess the Salic land.
F.H. I bequeath, bestow, and devise, free of all taxation, and with full and absolute fiduciary entitlement,